in Proverbs 19:2, he's saying that you can't rush headlong into things. And then when you get out there, those like I told you, those couples that got married and found out that it wasn't of God, first thing they did was blame the pastor. When the pastor told them not to get married, then they blamed God. God, you put this person in my life. But what happens also is when, let's say you're dating a person and they're cheating on you, okay, or they're not doing what they're supposed to do. If you marry that person, what you are doing is saying your behavior is okay. Your intention may be good. Your intention is maybe, well, if I marry them, that'll stop them from doing it. But it doesn't. See, you can't change a person from the outside. Marriage is done from the outside. They have to be changed from the inside, and only God can do that. So if you marry a person that's acting up before you get married, they're going to act up after you get married. Because what you're saying, by marrying them, you're saying, well, what you was doing, it's okay. I'm okay with that. Keep right on doing it. And usually what happens, it gets worse unless God is injected in that relationship. Y'all all right with that? All right. Here the word, I'm still on the notes. Now here the word of God is telling us that without proper knowledge, we can end up in a dangerous situation, and some will even blame the Lord for it. We need to be sure we understand what we're getting into and where we want to go before we take the first step. Obviously, we cannot know what all the future may hold for us, but we still need to do our homework, ask the right questions, and make sure that we're following God. Ask questions, you know. Even if, especially ladies, if you dating a guy and he says he's working, call his job. Find out how his work habits are. Find out, do he miss a lot of time from work? All these things are important down the line. Because if he's missing a lot of time from work, then that should tell you he won't be on that job too long. So they're going to get rid of him. So all these things we need to find out how long he's been on the job. If he's had 10 jobs in 6 months, something wrong with that. And most of the time, people like that blame the folk on the job. But what I like to tell people, if you done had 10 jobs in 6 months, and every job you had trouble with the people, you need to examine yourself, because it ain't the people, you taking you with you everywhere you go. So it must be you. You must be the problem. So we need to ask the right question. Listen, marriage is as serious as it gets. This is a lifetime commitment. When you say, I do, you're saying, I do for life. And if I'm going to give my life to a person, I need to know about that person. I need to spend time talking with that person. All right? And I'm going to tell you something too, ladies and gentlemen. Well, most of the ladies are not. When you're dating and you want to keep it right before God, never get along with a person. Always meet in a crowd. And always meet the person there. Always meet that person there, because, see, people don't even realize it. Holding hands can lead to intimacy. Any kind of physical touching. Because, see, God has created us to be attracted to one another. Men and women attracted to one another. So when we do any kind of touching, all that can lead to intimacy. That can lead to things that you don't want to get involved in. So if you're going to date someone, you make sure that you got somebody with you and you tell them, I'll meet you there. Wherever you go, don't ever put yourself in a situation, because most of, especially these guys, they want to be romantic. Let's take a walk on the beach. Well, bring everybody you got with you to walk with you on the beach with them. Have mama there, daddy there, everybody. I like what Arlen did when Brother Chuck went to go and talk to Arlen. Arlen had her pastor, her mom, everybody, the whole family was there. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? Don't get caught in a situation that you're going to regret later. A lot of times, all people, especially men, all they're after is one thing. Once they get that, then they have no more use for it. That's what happened with, was it Absalom? One of them, who was that? That went with, who was it?
Abner.
Abner, who went with Tamar.
Right.
And once, and that was his son. Yeah, and once he got what he wanted, he was through with her. Yeah, he was through with her, and she said, "Don't do me like this." But that's an example of what people are about. You know, and then on the flip side of that, we have men and women living together and experiencing the benefits of marriage. Well, that's headed for disaster because it's not submitted to God. Even though we may have two Christians, that relationship of those two Christians are not submitted to God because that's still fornication because they're not